defensively with his crowd control, but he's finding these windows of opportunity to sneak in those big chaos bolts and get out some kills for his team. So definitely look out for him in this matchup.
Yep, we will be watching him, and I think he's also the big thing about how they played last time on Warsong Gulch, which I was really impressed from Bailamos' team, was when they did wipe the offense from the Debbies, then Burn immediately went onto his own offense, and he was almost always at least, saving the Infernals for that moment to try take down the then Demon Hunter. Now, of course, it would be Juan who is playing that for SX6. I really do think that was a strategy improvement that Bailamos. Wow, that's gonna take some changing. Bailamos, his team over the course of this 6v6 tournament. I mean, it's a pretty new format. Like, obviously, all of these guys excel in 10v10. 6v6, the priorities are going to change a little bit. The number of resources you can throw at that offense obviously dwindles just because you have less people. So I think getting Burn into those counterattacks really is one of the differences they've made, and that's going to be the key to them actually winning this map.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really argue with that analysis. It is going to be definitely really important for them to get that if they want to get the win. Bailamos just has to make sure he's doing a good job surviving. I mean, it basically, actually I want to see something really fast. I didn't see if, yeah, Varen's just going to be playing fire, so it's basically been the same compositions out of this team every single map. The only flexibility we've really seen from this roster so far is Bailamos. He switches over to the Rogue. They're not on this flag carrying map, but other than that, this is the composition that they feel is best, or this is the only composition they could play one way or another. It will be ride or die for them off the back of the Windwalker Monk, the Restoration Shaman, the Destruction Warlock, and the Fire Mage.
Yeah, I just want to check one thing real quick. Which spec is Magnus playing? Because I heard he's actually playing arms in this one, but I can't see, it hasn't updated for me just yet. So we'll have to pay attention to what he's wearing. That's a good question. Where is he? Let's find him. I'm flying down. There we go. So he is playing arms, yeah. Which means they will have the Sharpened Blade for those big Earthshock pushes. I think that's actually a really important thing to shout out, because Sharpened Blade is one of the most powerful killing tools in the game. It's a 6-second 50% healing reduction that you can apply to the target. So if they put that on the tank, you know it's going to affect Frenzied Regeneration, it's going to affect Swift Mends, like any heals that comes through onto Bailamos. And then combining that with, you know, the burst potential we've already seen, if the team is shouting out, you know, the Star Surge plus the Earth Shock, when those stacks really start to build up, I think that could be actually a really smart play from Magnus. That said, he will be easier to kill without the Fury self-heals.
Yep. I think that's certainly true. Seth already positioning defensively. He's going to be trying to harass Juan the most he can, manages to find the paralysis. Is he going to get a leg sweep? How much damage is he going to commit? Uses the Haymaker to just knock him back. He's just trying to delay as long as possible, giving Bailamos a good opportunity to get into midfield, get to a safe spot, get back in his base. Magnus on that Arms Warrior. Like you said, Sharpened Blade, just a really powerful tool, but one of the problems with the Arms Warrior is you have no self-healing, whereas the Fury Warrior, he can keep himself alive. Magnus on the Arms Warrior offensively might be a little better, but defensively, he's not going to be able to stay in those fights for nearly as long.
Yep, we see a Hibernate connected by Grunt over onto Bailamos, locking him up in midfield currently. Looks like, once again, though, he's got no issue crossing the map. Like, I actually think Guardian Druids are probably better at getting away prior to the buff stacking up than Havoc Demon Hunters, or Vengeance Demon Hunters, sorry, just because they can shift all of the snares very easily, and then obviously they have the increased movement speed with the travel and cat forms, in addition to the wild charge. So even getting like Vortex and Death Grip and all that, you can just spam shift out of that. As long as you stay alive, there's going to be no issue there. Both tanks able to cross the map quite simply, and it's just kind of a level fight right now in the midfield.
Yeah, they're looking for some greater power blast. Can they get a kill? Vo does manage to range the second one. Baruch going to be taking some burst as well. We just have a 5v5 brawl in the middle of the map. Bailamos, he's retreating to his base. Juan as well. But there's no real offense committed by either team. They're just going to be looking for a 5v5. And I wonder how this is going to play out. I feel like if they can get a pick, it's going to be really good for someone to push forward. But at the same time, we could see one of these DPS just break off and start trying to apply some pressure.
Yeah, and normally it's Seth Curry for Bailamos' team that does go for those plays. So we'll be watching to see when he does that. I think Burn, like I want to give him a little shout out, Burn X on the Destruction Walk, because he's really smart about the way he manages cooldowns. Like, for example, his Infernal, which is the big 3-minute cooldown for the Destruction Warlock, he'll only use it either when Bailamos is in dire need of help, like really needs it as a peel and to wipe out the offense immediately, or most likely, and how he's used it mostly on this map, just simply to go for the kill on the enemy Demon Hunter. And it's been working well for them. Obviously, it saw them take the game against the Debbies on Warsong Gulch. We'll see an early Infernal here, though, coming in into the triple Shadow Fury, just making sure that Bailamos is okay. Like you say, neither team has really committed too much to the offense set. Certainly, Bailamos' team hasn't, as it's just kind of a Seth Curry on his own at this point, I believe.
Their style is definitely survive at this point. So they're going to have Varen, they're going to have Burn, Bailamos, Hamsham, as well, I believe, the rest of Druid on their team. Loxatar just completely defending, trying to survive, and this is the strategy we've seen work against some teams, but later on in the game, when that damage stacks up, it just seems like Bailamos is just a real vulnerability. If Oz can connect with Magnus and Baruch at the same time, it's just a lot of burst damage. It can basically just blow him out of the water very quickly, whereas for Juan and Rook, it's going to be really easy to survive Seth Curry. Like, he's just not going to be able to do anything. It's more of an annoyance. It's like a little fly trying to swat away the whole game, but it's unlikely they end up taking down the flag carrier.
Yeah, equally, Bailamos hasn't really been challenged too much yet, as the stacks are starting to build up. We're over 5 stacks now. I can't see exactly how many stacks, obviously, but like I saw that one of the red buffs just ticked up, so they must be starting to build up a decent burst. I'm actually kind of watching Oz. I'm gonna go fly over in my little spectator bubble over here, see if I can see the berserking. Bailamos is actually dying whilst I'm doing this. I do really want to see if it's up. It's not up just yet. Maybe that means Oz actually already has it. He might have already gone for that play with the berserking. That was obviously what secured them the kill last time these two teams met. Oz really has to be the playmaker here.
Yeah, that certainly does, but Burn shutting him down. Instant interrupt on that lightning lasso. That was a really nice vortex on the gateway from Bailamos. Baron looking for greater power blast, and like we kind of talked about, Magnus on that arms warrior has to be really careful. Doesn't have the same sort of self-healing as the Fury warrior, so all this damage is permanent on him unless he can start getting some heals. At this point, Orvo could easily fall, but so far they've been doing a good job keeping him alive, and it's going to be all about those sharpened blade kind of one-shots where Direct and Oz have damage. That's when you sharpen. That's when you try to burst down Bailamos, and this could be that opportunity they're looking for.
Yeah, it's looking really good for them. Like, they're committing one healer offensively. Vo is always staying aggressive, which means that Magnus can definitely afford to be playing arms. Doesn't need to worry about self-healing since his healer is there supporting him. Has the defensive stance as well. These sharpened blade pushes are looking really... I mean, it actually makes complete sense like why they would be playing this. Just reduces all the healing. If they time that with some burst, it's going to be an easy kill onto Bailamos at some point in this game. Even now, like, I mean, it doesn't even seem like they're able to wipe out this offense coming in from SX6. That's been the playstyle for Bailamos' team. They win the 5v4. I mean, yeah, the 5v4, and then they go for the kill. But so far, it looks like Bailamos could just die in any single Stormbolt. The Infernal comes in, desperation time from Burn. He recognizes that his team needs it, and when Burn starts using his Infernal, that's when you know the team feels they're in trouble.
Yeah, Magnus on the Arms Warrior really putting in work when he has uptime, when he gets the Stormbolt with the sharpened blade. It's so difficult to heal him up. Oz getting swapped to, though. Burn trying to take him down, he gets cycloned up, but Oz ultimately does fall, and that will shut down this offensive push, potentially. Ramos still taking a lot of pressure, just weaving in and out of the room, trying to avoid as much damage as possible. Burn really punishing the team right now. Really defending, Bailamos doing an excellent job. Magnus falls, Oz falls, and this is going to be a little bit of a reset.
Yeah, I mean, it's the nice swipe. I think whenever they commit the Infernals to defense, they will be able to convert that 5v4 advantage into a team wipe or into a victory. They get the kill on Oz, and that will be that. That said, of course, if they're using all their big offensive cooldowns to wipe SX6, it's very unlikely that we'll see Burn actually cross the map and go for a counter push here. Looks like they actually might be going for something with it anyway. Seth Curry even was back in the defense lines there, so that we had a full 6-man defense. I think the stacks are now completed at the 8-minute mark, so 10 stacks on both of these team members right now. We have to see how Bailamos' team does get aggressive here, because there's still members down. Vo still hasn't resurrected, and you can see members pushing up the map. We have the mage. I think the warlock is also pushing up, so all 3 DPSs are looking for a push here over onto Juan. It's Juan and Rook's turn to show their stuff here for the team.
No! Seth Curry messed up his port. He put it on the edge, and he ended up trying to transcendence over to Juan and just fell off onto the ground. A little bit of unfortunate timing there for Seth, but Varen finally in a good position. Burn trying to get there as well, but Oz is doing a good job intercepting this offense.
That was a really nice play from Oz. He got rooted by Loxatar, so that Loxatar was going to go get the Berserking buff, but he lightning lassoed Loxatar so that he could get in and get the buff himself. Excellent use of the elemental utility, and now Oz is a big playmaker here. Has that Berserking buff for about 30 to 40 seconds, I believe. 35, I think, is the exact number. So he can clear out the offense here, and now he needs to be the person getting to Bailamos.
Yeah, I think this is just one of the problems with the offensive lineup from Team Bailamos is you have Burn and Varen, the Fire Mage and the Destruction Warlock. When they're mobile, or when they're in a team fight, they can get those casts off. They're going to be really valuable. But Burn trying to rotate across the entire map, if you just send Oz back, he's going to root him, he's going to snare him, he's going to keep him killed. And it's just really difficult for him to actually rotate and stay on target, especially against a hypermobile tank like the Vengeance Demon Hunter. So it's been difficult so far for Varen and Burn to really get anything rolling. Once again, Juan's just going to leap down. He's going to kite away. It's sort of up to Seth Curry to make sure that he can actually land some crowd control, some stuns to keep him locked down in place. But Juan is not making that easy.
He's definitely not. We see Bailamos. You can see the nice little locked gate. Since we're on the 6v6 mode, the top map is not available right now. He's just kiting down the tunnel. Magnus is able to connect as we see the Warrior Fear actually committed onto Loxatar. They're really trying to get aggressive here, but not all the members are there. Oz is still in defense, so I feel like they're not going to get too much achieved with this. Bailamos slowly kiting. It's not quite as impressive as a Vengeance Demon Hunter, but his bear is doing the best it can. Wild charges away from Magnus at this point. The Arms Warrior does have a little less time. Juan actually dropping really low in the process. They actually have a really good defense right now, but he ends up dying regardless. They get the kill. Bailamos is not on the point right now. He's outside, so there's a good chance someone may be able to pick it up, but it's obviously an ideal situation. Magnus is unable to get there. Garukt is chasing, but he's slowed. He's not as slow as Bailamos, though he should be able to. The spam roots coming in. Hibernate landed, or Hibernate attempted. Nice. We see him. He should be able to get past the Cyclone onto Bailamos. Cyclone's on both players. Someone needs to get there. Garukt actually trinkets out. He should be able to get there, but they need to keep him alive if they can actually cross the map. This is looking great for Bailamos' team.
Yeah, it definitely is. We'll have to see what they can get done. Juan needs to get there. He needs to drop the flag. It's all about this handoff at this point. Loxatar trying to just take Garukt down. Feral Affinity doing a little bit of work. Garukt manages to find the full Cyclone. He trinkets out. He needs to get another Cyclone or a Basher or something. He could just fall. Loxatar is going to take him down. Maledict lands against the Stormbolt into a Cyclone. He has to reconnect to Vo. Juan's there as well. Are they going to get the turnaround? Loxatar is the only one that can shoot it. They have to click it.
They got it. Ooh, that was really risky. Really risky. Loxatar was right there. Cycloned at the exact same time he dropped it. So beautiful play coming in from Garukt. But I mean, that was a really close call there. And Juan just dies again instantly anyways. Bailamos is on the point.
He picked it up though. Who's got the flag? That's the most important thing right now. Trying to kite away.
It's like Vo.
Burst damage coming in. It's going to be so difficult. I think it's Vo. Oh, what are you going to do? He's in bear form. He's trying to kite away, but a beautiful interrupt coming in from Varen denies it. Another pickup? This guy's got the fastest fingers I've ever seen. Magnus grabs the flag. He's trying to get away, but Ring of Peace denies. Seth Curry says, no way. This is my house. You're not escaping from it. And ultimately, that will be a point conversion for Team Bailamos, and they are going to be up 1-0.
Yeah, Bailamos' team are able to convert that first victory, and I mean that was off of kind of like again against the run of play. Like Bailamos was under so much pressure for a long time. One had the members in defense. Oz was back there, but he just got caught out. So much damage coming in from Seth Curry once again. One of the big playmakers throughout for Bailamos' team. He joked around calling him Seth Carey. He's looking to put his team on the shoulders once again here on Warsong Gulch. This is the Grand Finals. The Grand Finals is just the best of three, ladies and gentlemen. So if Bailamos' team are able to convert this, 7 minutes left on the timer, then they will be in prime position to take this Grand Final and the first cup of the 6v6s.
Yeah, Bailamos, he's going to be sneaking in, and it was 7 minutes left. That's plenty of time for them to stall out. We know they're very comfortable with that. that's not going to go up to max stack. So if they can just hyper commit to a solid defense, I don't really know what SX6 can do right now. They're going to have to find miracle kills, great crowd control on Lostatar, on Hamsham if they want to actually take down Bailamos, but we'll have to see. Bailamos is going to be running to the midfield. They have to take him down. Basically, I think if he can get into his stronghold, into the Horde Fortress, I think it's GG. They just know how to position too well. I don't really see them falling down.
Yeah, whenever Bailamos gets into the stronghold, as you say, it's just like the wild charge is a 15-second cooldown, and every single time he just drops down and then he ports up every 15 seconds. There's no other class that can do that on such a regular cadence, I believe. So it's such a nice setup from them. They recognize the strengths of the Guardian Druid, and they've been utilizing it really, really well. That said, there are opportunities for outplay. Oz can thunderstorm him down. Maybe they can get a nice vortex on one of those wild charges, set up an opportunity. And also, he does have to leave bear form to get access to that particular version of the wild charge. So there is a small gap. Maybe you can land a stun with the Stormbolt or something like that from Magnus and open up a window. So there's definitely still opportunities here. That said, 5 minutes left on the timer for the map. This is playing right into Bailamos' hand.
Yep. We'll have to see what exactly they can get done. At this point of the game, we really have to see SX6 try to get aggressive. They need to go for these one-shot kills with Sharpened Blade. They need to really commit to their offense. Seth Curry, though, forcing Rook to come back. And I really like what he's doing. Is he going to fall, though? Seth Curry could ultimately die. I don't even know if he cares. If Seth Curry falls right now, it wouldn't be the worst situation for them to really be in. He could come back. He could help defend. But, I mean, certainly it's better for him to pull back Rook, which makes it a lot more difficult for SX6 to push in and remain aggressive, especially if they only have one healer they can do it with.
Yeah, Greg's actually getting a little bit sneaky here. He was stealthing around Bailamos' team. Oz is in offense. You can see already they're chasing here. Bailamos actually kiting away from his team, including his healers at this moment in time. It doesn't seem like he's going to commit to it, though. He runs back, attacking Magnus. This is the Infernals coming in from Burn X. They want to clear out this offensive push from SX6. They will, of course, have access to another Infernals before the game ends. 4 minutes left on the timer at this moment in time. We see the coils coming out. One was actually reflected. Magnus reflecting the Death Coil will shut down a lot of that burst from Burn. Nice play from him on this Arms Warrior. Bailamos has opted for base camp. He's in this little ledge. We've seen him on time and time again. See if Oz and Co can connect. This is a big Stormkeeper here.
Yeah, a lot of burst damage available for Oz. Unfortunately, not really getting much done. Bailamos realizing the situation, uses some of his defensive cooldowns, and they're just going to be camping it out. Look at this positioning. He's just weaving in about on his side. Baron might get a kill onto Oz. If Oz falls, that's little to no hope for this offense to actually make a play. Almost gets knocked down. He's going to be sitting down that Burn with a beautiful gateway. Loxatar is going to be chasing him, and they've kind of left Magnus, Oz, all these DPS members behind sort of this gauntlet that Baron and Burn have set up. It's a lot of damage, but we'll have to make sure Bailamos, he doesn't overextend at this point. There's so much on the line. They just need to survive another 3 minutes. His positioning so far, he's opted not to just sit in that little cubby. He's been running outside. Magnus with a beautiful Stormbolt looking for a kill. Almost in a bit of trouble.
Yeah, Bailamos definitely taking a lot of damage. Here comes the lasso. Full stun. Trinkets out after it was already interrupted. Down to 60%, but that's exactly what they needed. They get the trinket from Bailamos. He's already dropping low on cooldowns. 3 minutes left on the timer, and the belief really is there that the team of SX6 could still get this kill. They have such big potential burst damage. Once again, though, Bailamos just going to port upstairs using that wild charge to the best of his ability. Still dropping low, though, down to 50%. His healers are struggling to connect. We see Sheeps coming out into Oz. Desperation time. They don't want to be sheeping the DPS. They want to be killing them. No Infernal available for about a minute and a half. Do you get the feeling that Oz is going to have a lot of uptime here?
Yeah, he's definitely going to have a significant amount of damage. We'll have to see if he can actually get it off. They need Magnus to reconnect, but Magnus has been left all alone. Varen and Burn, they're really trying to take him down. He's such a major part of that offense. He needs the Sharpened Blade. That's why he went onto the Arms Warrior. Get Sharpened Blade up onto Bailamos. Also the beautiful knock. He actually knocks everyone. Hamsham knocked down. Lockstar knocked down. Juan could just completely find in this situation once again. Seth Curry trying to create pressure, but hasn't really been able to find it. And the name of the game at this point is you have to take down Bailamos. You have to chase him down. And for Team Bailamos, they just need to kite. They need to survive as long as possible. They need to make sure they're shutting down Oz. No lightning lassos available. Deny the crowd control. Slowly take down their team, and that's going to get them the win.
Yep, I mean, that's what they're looking for. But if Grook falls, it's going to be almost curtains. Bo is just getting spam crowd control. This mage lock. Burn and Virion are doing a fantastic job. They recognize only the Restoration Druid is in the offense for the team of SX6. They can just crowd control him. Magnus has no self-in and Grook has very little. They can easily win this with the mage lock. Now we see Infernals coming out as well from Burn. This is danger time. Bailamos, though, dropping low. This is the final push. If they wipe out here, they will lose the map. Bailamos, though, down to 50% health, kiting away desperately. Using that little kiting part. He's using this pattern really well. He's like kiting, using the wild charge down, and then he walks back upstairs. They have the vortex, all the snares and slows, the infernal damage, exposing them to the open field. But Bailamos, I mean, he's just chilling. He's like, again, he's back around, out of line of sight of everyone. He actually drops down again. He's on the run. 50 seconds left. He feels like if he can just make a break for it, he's going to stay alive here.
Well, look at Hamsham. Look at Loxatar. They are with Bailamos at this point in the match. Everyone else's responsibility is just snare up those DPS. Garuk, Vo, they're moving forward. They want to take him down, but the question is, can anyone else reconnect? Is it too little, too late for SX6? Is this final or defensive run from Bailamos going to pay off? But he's actually running back into Magnus. Maybe not the best play. He just has to hold on for 27 seconds. He doesn't want to leave the defense of Burn and Baron. They've been such a pivotal role, or played such a pivotal role in this matchup with Polymorph, with Fear, with Dragon's Breath, Ring of Frost, to protect their fearless flag carrier. Magnus Heroic leaps in. Only 10 short seconds left. What are they going to do? And Bailamos hold on.
Yep, 8 seconds, 6 seconds now, as Bailamos has surely done it. Oz trapped in the room. He will not be able to get the kill. An excellent defensive play once again sees Bailamos go 1-up in the grand final.
Dwarf mount.
We're
not going to be getting that anytime soon.
Nope.
I don't think there's the Dark Iron Dwarf Druids. But
no, unfortunately not.
No. Oh well.
You made me sad now. This game will make me happy though.
Yeah, this game's going to make me happy very shortly as both teams march towards the center of the map. Is anyone going to pick up an orb? I think it's unlikely. It's not the strategy these teams have really implemented. Bailamos in center field right now in stealth. Rank 1 moving in as well. What is he going to be able to get done? Who are they going to open on? Hamsham gets sapped. This is an opportunity. Crowd control on the healer. Really going to go after it. Bailamos gets a counter sap on Rook. Nicely done. Beautiful leg sweep coming in from Seth. Manages to clip Magnus, Goruk, and Vo. Are they going to be able to get much follow-up damage? Doesn't look like it so far, but that was a really good opener.
Yeah, less of a leg sweep, more of a full body sweep there coming in from Seth Curry, catching the entire team, essentially, as we see the kidney shot now over onto Rook. Very little damage coming out there. I think both these teams are hesitant. Obviously, SX6 find themselves one game away from losing the chance of being crowned champions. So they're going to be hesitating just a little bit more. And Bailamos' team, of course, they're getting better and better throughout the day. They did lose this map the first time these two teams met in the upper bracket. So also a little bit of hesitation. Trinket's actually being forced out from a couple of key members on the side of Bailamos' team, though. Potentially a smoke bomb opportunity for rank 1 if he goes for that play. Burn dropping low. They can force out some major cooldowns here. I'd love to see them make a big swap to Bailamos momentarily.
Yeah, in terms of damage, Team Bailamos, they have a massive lead. They've had a lot more pressure. Renasti gets interrupted. Are they going to be able to find the burst? Oz has a lot of work cut out for him. Kidney shot over on the Bailamos. What are they going to be able to do? He gets caught in the kidney and taken down. That was a really nice play.
Yep.
Like we kind of talked about, this could allude to what's going to be happening for the rest of the game. SX6 strikes first blood.
Yeah, as soon as you find a trinket on one of those melees, you're looking for the kidney smoke bomb play, and rank 1 is all over that one. Gets the better of Bailamos in the start of this game, has the first blood, and we've talked about how impactful that has been on this map every single time we've played it throughout this tournament. Gruk able to pick up the first flag. They're not committing fully though, they're only picking up one flag for now. Just in case Gruk were able to be taken down here, I feel like they don't want to have two exposed members, because at worst, this could go down to 5v5. Steph Curry dies now, so I wouldn't be surprised to see them pick up a second flag. Actually looks like Bailamos' team got to it first though. Hamsham, the culprit, having the flag on the back line. Maybe they should swap some damage over onto him. They would deny the points, and they would also kill off one of the healers, and it looks like that is going to be their target of choice.
Yeah, Hamsham now caught into a kidney shot. What is Varian going to be able to do? Is there any extra damage? Extra damage? Yeah, he just gets deleted out of the game. Seth Curry as well. Gruk now kiting away. Second orb about to be picked up by Bailamos, but that's going to be could be a little bit difficult. That was a nice ring of peace coming in from Rook that denied it. And Magnus picks it up. MVP Rook right there. That was such a nice ring of peace. These monks really utilizing that utility spell to their advantage.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of good ones from both Seth Curry and Rook in this matchup. Honestly, though, Bailamos' team, they're having this issue of the staggered res. Hamsham picking up that orb and then dying hasn't been great for them. He should be the next person to rejoin the fight, though. Currently 5v5 for Hamsham. You can see him flying in on that beautiful Drake mount. So we will have a 6v5 situation since Rook died. Currently, though, a big advantage in points for SX6. They do lose 2 members with the flag, though, so Bailamos' team will be recuperating that loss with the 2 flags of their own.
Yeah, Seth Curry gets caught into a bash. Oz trying to take him down. He has Transcendence in a really good position. If he needs to, he can just jump down to center field, which is exactly what he's going to do. Oz trying to look for the solo kill. I don't think he's going to be able to find it just yet. Seth just maneuvering around. This is a really good opportunity for Team Bailamos to start getting some points on the board. They might be able to even catch up as they do have both of these orbs, but in a team fight, in this situation, they're not advantaged. It's going to be easy for them to take down members. Garrett gets sniped down instantly. What is going to happen now? That was such a good pick-off there for Team Bailamos. Yep, you would expect them to lose that team fight, but that could swing this fight in their favor.
Yeah, they should be winning this team fight. That was the Infernals from Burn. Every single time he presses that ability, they need to track him. I feel like they're putting so much attention into denying Varian that they're forgetting sometimes about Burn and those Infernal Chaos Bolts. Actually, that one kill shifts the entire momentum of this fight. They were supposed to lose this one, like you said, Ben. They have 2 exposed targets. Obviously, Loxatar will end up dying here. Seth Curry most likely will as well at some point in the near future, but they were able to completely remove any disadvantage they had, and then some, with a 100-point lead now. They still have one of the flags up. I think Seth Curry is the person with it. Does eventually die. Seth Curry has been one of the best people at holding this flag for a long period of time. He's just so slippery.
Yeah, Bailamos, he does grab one of the orbs. He's running on the outside of the map right now. And like you kind of said, in the 6v6 format, being on the edge, I think he actually has limited points, so he's not going to be grabbing that much. But what it does do is deny the team of SX6 to really get both orbs and get more points rolling. So I think it's more about that than anything. He just wants to deny their ability to get points, but Bailamos gets caught into the kidney shot. Doesn't have his trinket available. He's in a lot of trouble. He shadow steps away, but just really big burst damage. Oz all over him. Nice cheap shot to try to get a little bit of peels. As he looks to hide away once again, Seth Curry trying to back him up with a beautiful ring of peace. Bailamos does manage to escape with his life. Now, they need to try to get a kill. They need to try to take down Guruk, and if they can do that, Burns in a really good position. Lands the Shadow Fury. Chaos Bolt. Is that going to be good night? No, Guruk does manage to survive. Rook in a great position, and they will be able to hold on, but that was a good attempt by Burn.
Yeah, Rook's currently solo healing in the fight. Vo actually went for a drink there. He was 0 mana. He sat down for a while, got up to 30% mana, so still not a great situation to be in. They do get the kill onto Bailamos, though. Both orbs are killed right now. Fight completely reset as we have a 5 versus 5 situation here. Both orbs picked up by the Horde side. Interesting strategy here. Normally, we don't see teams committing to it where the fight is evened out because they will have 2 exposed targets now. Loxatar actually picked up one of the orbs for Bailamos' team there. He has a lot of mana, so if he gets killed off, it could be detrimental. Seth Curry dropping low has the other orb. Bailamos' team racking up an insane number of points right now with 2 orbs in the center of the map. But if they end up losing this fight and staggering, it could end up backfiring.
Yeah, it definitely could end up backfiring, but Bailamos now in a position to help out his team. Loxatar gonna get sniped down. Taken down in the fight. Hamshan now left alone to heal up his team, and now they're in a 5 versus 6 situation again. Can they grab the orb? Bailamos, he grabs it, and this has just been a battle of essentially them getting out-positioned on this map. Bailamos, Seth Curry, they've just been doing a way better job grabbing these orbs. Unfortunately, I think Bailamos will ultimately fall, but no, Hamshan there, able to get a little bit of healing, gets interrupted by Group. Nice interrupt. And now 2 members down. This is danger time for Seth Curry. Is he going to be able to get away? He's in the midfield right now, spamming out heals, Stormbolt. He will eventually get executed. And now this is where we have to see SX6. They need both orbs, but Burn, he steals one once again. These guys are thieves in the night. He's taking these orbs consistently over and over, and it's been really difficult for Oz's team to catch up at this point.
Magnus with a nice reflect on the death core there once again on Burn. Should be able to get this solo kill. Pretty sure the warrior wins the 1v1 against the Destruction Warlock, especially with the orb. It's been a difference in strategy, honestly, from these 2 teams. Whereas SX6 have been playing it smart, sometimes they just, even when they're winning a team fight, they won't actually pick up orbs. I saw Oz running past one earlier in the fight because they want specific people to pick it up, like normally Guruk and rank 1 have been the people picking it up. Bailamos' team have just been like, there's an orb, get it. Don't even necessarily go into the center with it, just deny points from the enemy. And these two strategies are so evenly matched right now. The points are 800 apiece, we're halfway. 2 alliance flags right now, but of course they're exposed members, Grook dies, and the advantage of the fight is starting to lean towards Bailamos once again.
Yep, Seth Curry picks up the flag. They're just dying. They're taking the orbs. They're doing a good job, but like you kind of said, it's really a difference in strategy. And now, for one of the first times in this game, SX6 actually manages to pull ahead. Every single time they're getting a kill, they're getting a little bit of extra points, and those points start to add up over time. Hamsham now caught into a bash, but almost they have to be able to survive. I think they're still waiting on one team member to have an even team fight. Finally, it's going to be an even team fight, 1 orb apiece. Who are the vulnerable targets? Magnus is very vulnerable for SX6, whereas for the team of Bailamos, Seth Curry is the vulnerability. He ports away from Magnus. If Magnus gets taken out, it's going to be great. They have to do a good job keeping these flag carriers alive.
Yeah, Magnus dropping low. Chaos Box next will take him out immediately. This is the Infernals once again from Burn. We'll be watching him. What can he get done in this situation? Gets Trinket out of the crowd control there. Looking for Chaos Bolts. His team has the lead in this one right now. The Horde are starting to pull ahead. This is fantastic news for Bailamos. If they win this game, if they win with 500 more points here, they will be the champions of the first GCD TV 6v6 tournament in this rated battleground. This was the map choice of SX6, and it's not looking great. Seth Curry, though, does end up falling. Both flags reset, 50 points in it right now. As we see a second pickup, Bailamos' team, they're just picking up the flags constantly. Bailamos himself, especially, is all over those points. And I mean, it's working out for them. They're getting these small advantages. Honestly, the fight isn't even that bad for them. Both the healers on SX6 are completely tapped on mana.
Yeah, it's not too bad at all. And with these orbs, they're still pulling ahead. 1,100 points to 950. Hamsham could easily fall. Lockstar gets interrupted. How's he going to stay alive? Still just so low, barely holding on. Hamsham
no way. There we
will
go.
fall. Is Vern going to pick up the flag? Is Vern going to pick up the flag? Are they just going to keep going after these flags over and over and over? Magnus, they need to start getting points. Magnus is going to grab the orb. He fears up Seth Curry. And now this is the situation SX6 wants to find themselves in. They just slaughtered Team Bailamos in a team fight. They have both orbs. They're in the midfield. This is their opportunity to catch up in this game and potentially even pull ahead.
They needed to get the kill on Loxatar. They narrowly missed out. Oz almost soloing him, but I mean, as long as they don't stagger the kills, Bailamos' team will just have an advantage here. They kill off Magnus. Obviously, there's another orb active right now for the Alliance team, but I mean, Bailamos' team, they're all coming back. Hamsham's back in the fight. Bailamos is back in the fight. They have a 6v5 advantage. They have a 50 to 100 point advantage also. Gurk isn't actually even getting optimum points right now. He's sitting on the outskirts. You can see that he's basically getting nothing for his team. He'll get one shot as soon as anyone puts any damage onto him. Cheap shot coming out. Looks like they're not even trying to kill him right now. They're waiting to stagger it a little bit more. He's running away. Again, not getting maximum points. The further he runs, he will just get one shot as soon as he re-enters this fight. This is looking better and better for Bailamos' team. They could reverse this. It was a 2-0 the first time these two teams met in favor of SX6, and Bailamos' team is 200 points away from making this a 2-0 in the grand final for them to win.
This would be unbelievable. What a comeback story it would be. You can see here, Guruk falls down. This is looking even better for Team Bailamos. There's an orb up. Is Hamsham going to be able to get it? If he can grab this orb, it's huge. Manages to grab one. Bailamos grabs another as soon as Seth falls, and they're just going to run, collect these points for as long as possible. SX6, they have to be flailing. This is essentially match point. If they lose this, they're knocked out of the tournament. Team Bailamos will be the champions. They just have to hold on a little bit longer. They just need 100 points. 80 points left in this game. They have to take down Bailamos. They have to do it now. Hamsham barely surviving as well. He gets taken down. Rook gets the paralysis. Magnus looking for that final little bit of damage. This would be a miracle. They take him down. Okay, they only need 22 points left. Are they going to be able to grab both orbs and hold on? They could come back in this game for sure.
This is so close. If Bailamos' team gets a single orb, they win this game. 22 points is all they need 200 now for Team SX6. They do have the split res. Hamsham died, Bailamos died. Now Vo taking damage. Both these orb carriers need to stay alive at this point. Rook gets cyclone, so he's not in trouble. Meanwhile, though, Vo, the Chaos Balls are connecting. They need to shut this down. He's so low on health. Surely he's going to fall. Who's there to get the flag? Looks like rank 1 is there to catch it. It's so close. Any kill will win this for Bailamos' team. 12 points is all they need. 10, I believe, is the number you get if you kill someone, but it's not enough. SX6 wins by 12 points, and we are somehow tied 1 apiece. What? I can't believe they managed to convert that. I was about to commend Bailamos' team
in the game in terms of offensive capability. So I don't know, you will lose a little bit of that self-healing, but I don't mind the decision. I feel like they want to have better team fight. They want to actually be able to secure kills in the game. If you look at defense right now, we have Bailamos defending for the team of Team Bailamos and rank 1 defending for SX6, whereas Garuk now positioning his way into the team fight.
Yep, so we're going to have a pretty even fight here. Whereas we saw a lot of trickery on the Debbies running the double rogue composition, this is much more standard from both teams. 5 members each going to be trading. I really like the gateway setup that Bailamos' team's done. Gives them quick access over the water. I think it's a pretty standard play in RBGs, but it's always something you want to be setting up if you're playing at home, making sure your Warlock does do that. They're shutting down Burn early here. I'm trying to see if he's committed his Infernals. Doesn't look like it just yet, but it seems like he's a pretty safe target to just tunnel down, shut down damage. Should be hard for him to get any kills as long as they're targeting him.
Yep, definitely Magnus getting bursted down just a little bit, and he will be much more of a vulnerable target. Although with that D-stance, it will make him quite durable. Both rogues have still just positioned very far away on this map. They're not opting to really assist in offense just yet. Actually, Bailamos might decide to move forward. He's getting off his base just a little bit, but I think it's a really risky maneuver. I don't know if they want to leave it to chance at this point. With having a rogue defend, it's a really scary prospect to get off your base and just get ninja capped on. It would just be a complete disaster, a complete throw. So I don't think either one of these teams are really going to try to make that risky play.
Yeah, it is super risky, right? Because as soon as you reveal yourself at Lighthouse, the only way the play can even begin to work is if you have someone to cover, because as soon as that first sap hits, someone will rush down Lighthouse. So it really is like a game of chess. Both teams are probably just going to kind of sit back, have faith in their team fight capabilities. No one's really given an edge so far. Slight mana lead in favor of Bailamos' team, as Hamsham obviously has slightly better mana than Rook. Both the druids pretty even at this moment in time. But in terms of cooldowns, like, no one's really budged too much. I don't think we've seen a single life cocoon come out yet from Rook. No one's really dropped super low at this moment in time. We see the incarnation wearing off from Garuk. He wasn't able to get too much done with that. I think Burn hasn't quite committed everything yet. Now he's committing. This is all of his cooldowns. He's using the shield wall to deny interrupts. Actually, pre-shield walls the solar beam, looks like, but the silence effect, maybe a column at the end of his shield wall, that's going to force out the life cocoon. For the first time, Burn has been completely shut down on this infernal push. That said, Magnus has to trinket out, get the reflect on that chaos bolt. Could have been scary.
Yeah, it could have been a really scary moment. Polymorph on Vo, interrupt on Rook. Really good cross crowd control coming in from Baron. He's been doing a great job now, looking for greater power blast, but Oz just shutting him down every step of the way with the grounding totem, the hexes, the wind shears, the lightning lasso, really limiting his output, but that kind of frees up Burn like we were talking about. I think in this team fight, it is so much up to SX6 to make sure they're just tracking what is Varen doing, what is Burn doing. If they can shut down those casters, I think their team should end up having a mana lead, but it looks like Hamsham and Loxatar, they've just been doing a better job sneaking away and getting drinks on this map, having way higher mana, and that could end up winning them this team fight.
Yeah, it's surprising to see how many parallels there are between this and kind of arena gameplay. Like, the Infernal comes in, and then both the healers are like, okay, they're going to use everything to shut you down. We're going to both go drink, similar to what you would see. Now they have a massive lead over Vo and Rook in this team fight. No real offensive cooldowns to convert it. That's the combustion coming in from Varen. Once again, the little trade of the life cocoon over onto Vo. Nothing really doing. Rook might look to clean away. Actually, Vo uses the Tiger's Dash to the other side of the map. He's looking for a little drink right now, relying on Rook at this moment in time, as both the teams are kind of having this standoff. No one's really committing too many resources. Both the rogues also just sitting back. It's really anyone's game at this point. The points are, once again, completely identical. So if we did have that stalemate, we could have that tie, which would be incredible for the final game of the Grand Finals.
I mean, it would be remarkable if we just saw a complete stalemate and just a team fight 5v5 at Waterworks the entire game. But I think it's looking more and more likely. Neither one of these teams really wants to make an aggressive play, and you really can't blame them. Think about what's on the line. They've been playing all yesterday, all today for this final map, for this opportunity to win this tournament and be our first champions of the 6v6 RBG tournament that we have here on this channel. And it's been a lot of fun watching them play. But like I said, you really can't blame them for this sort of hyper defensive, really safe strategy.
Do you happen to know, like, once again here, I'm pretty sure this is true because I'm checking in the extension. Rank 1 is playing Assassination, whereas Bailamos is playing Sub. I mean, clearly it's comfort for both of them because that's been the theme throughout the series, but I am curious which spec should win the 1v1. I'm pretty sure the answer is Assassination because of the bleeds, right? So if it ever did come to that, Rank 1, you know, in that 1v1, should they find each other, could potentially find an advantage there. Pretty sure he would win that. It could be something they look for.
Well, looks like Team Bailamos, they are going to budge first. Seth Curry peels off. He's wanting that 1v1 with Rank 1. He wants to harass Lighthouse. This team fight is going nowhere fast. They realize it. They need to try to set something else up. The problem is, Varen and Burn sitting here at Waterworks, they're going to be able to be really disruptive with the amount of crowd control they have. At this point, they're not even playing to land kills. It's just about control. Just live as long as you can. Send the attack dog Seth over there. Try to make something happen. Try to create some opportunities. And now, as a response, Gorick, he has to peel off from the team fight, and Seth and Gorick are having a little bit of a 1v1.
Yeah, and this is exactly the strengths of Bailamos. Every single time, you know, it's team fight, maybe Seth isn't getting too much done, but if you can get him into this 1v1 situation, I would be really scared. Gorick is like, guys, like, I know we need only one person to come off so it stays even, but do I have to 1v1 Seth Curry at this moment in time? You can see him trying his best. He's high on health. He's been doing a pretty good job, honestly, so far. Touch of Karma forced out. Maybe he's actually winning this one. If you can defeat the Titan, Seth Curry, it's going to be a fantastic feat of strength, if nothing else, for his team. Obviously, we're currently in the situation of like 4v4 and 1v1. Seth Curry, he also, interestingly, he set up his Transcendence closer to the base. So maybe he's setting up here, rather than actually going for the Ninja on this particular play, he's just forcing out cooldowns. You know, you got the Trinket from Guruk there, so he'll be able to set up a Touch of Death leg sweep later on if he wants to. And he also has the Transcendence set up really close to the base of Rank 1. So maybe that's an opportunity later on, but for now he's just going to head back to the 5v5 team fight.
Yeah, trying to get aggressive over on Rook. They can take down this healer. It's going to be huge. Bash coming in. Vo, good response there. Throws out the Iron Bark to keep him alive. He will ultimately survive. That was a really good attempt, but like you said, with the positioning of the Transcendence for Seth Curry, he could also just run away really quickly. If he's just in this position right now, he uses Transcendence, uses Flying Serpent Kick, all of a sudden he has a massive lead over Guruk if he wants to try an assault on Lighthouse again.
Yep, this is the Infernal push right now from Burn. We'll have to see if he can make the enemies feel the burn at this situation. You see the Earthen Shield Totem to answer. Nice play from Hamsham. But it is the peel, like you were saying. Seth Curry runs instantly. His Transcendence is on the other side. He can push in very, very far here. Actually, he sets up a new Transcendence slightly further back. Guruk in hot pursuit. He's actually going to portal back and leg sweep. I guarantee that's what he was looking for. It doesn't actually go for it, though. Guruk has his Trinket back up, so I feel like Guruk would be able to survive this. Not entirely sure what Seth Curry's play is here. I don't think he'll win the 2v1 as good as he is. Looks like he is going to try and force the issue.
He's getting back up from Captain Bailamos. He's going to be moving forward, decides to abandon his post. Lockstar in a good position, though, to go defend if he really needs to. And now we find ourselves in a 2v2 situation. Kidney shot onto Guruk, blind, or cheap shot onto Rank 1. Who is Seth and Bailamos going to have to go after in this matchup? Who wins this 2v2? The entire game could come down to the setup.
Yeah, at the same time, though, look at Oz. Oz sees that Bailamos is gone. He's in hot pursuit of the space, but Hamsham reads it. Oz, he makes the jump, though. He's by far and away the furthest forward here. This could be a throw, potentially. Seth Curry's also dying. Loxatar is in hot pursuit. He's looking to shut down Oz. Nice read from Loxatar. It will be a 1v1 situation. I don't think we're going to see anything beyond a stalemate. Seth Curry has died in the 2v2, meaning that Guruk and Rank 1 were able to get the better of that exchange. Nicely played from them. We saw them doing an excellent job the last time they were challenged 2v2. And I mean, honestly, I've been very impressed by these guys. Like, Guruk in rank 1, we saw them camping mines, winning 2v2 after 2v2 against Darkpen's team. They're doing it here against potentially the very best in the grand finals.
Yep, really well done. Oz needs to get out of there as soon as possible. Seth Curry and Bailamos, they have backed up Loxatar on the zone. If they can pick off Oz, that's going to be an opportunity for them to push forward and potentially take down Waterworks if they really wanted to. Hitting shot over onto Oz, Fist of Fury, good burst damage. Oz is going to be trying to survive as long as he can in Ghost Wolf. Then he's not really doing too bad in this situation. I think it is inevitable that he'll fall at some point given the situation, but that's when I want to see Seth Curry. Bailamos, they have to just hightail it into the fight at Waterworks and try to swing the advantage in their favor now that they have a numbers advantage.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they'll try win the team fight here. I mean, Loxatar was looking to leave a little bit, but then he saw Hamsham dropping low, immediately decided, hey, I'm not going to go for anything sneaky. I don't want to risk my other healer dying at the base. They do have a slight numbers advantage here since Oz is down, but since both teams have double healer, you know, Voa and Rook are sitting on full mana, I think it's very unlikely. That said, they do get the kill onto Grook. Now Oz isn't there, Grook isn't there. It's a 3v5 situation right now. It's still hard for them to actually win this fight since the double healer is sitting on the base, but they're trying their very best. Infernal coming out from Burn. He wants to push the advantage here. Ring of Peace, they're going everything on it, but Magnus is doing an excellent job denying any flag captures. He's sitting on that base like it's his, I mean, it's his grand final, life on his line.
Varen's in a lot of trouble. Chaos Bolt lands. Or sorry, Vo's in a lot of trouble. Varen getting a lot of significant damage off there. Now, this is a split res they do not want to have to deal with. Vo now fallen. It's all up to Rook. He needs to keep his team alive, but you can see Varen in the back line just spamming out Greater Power Blast. Is he going to be able to land another one? They shred through the Life Cocoon. 2 Greater Power Blasts, potentially 3. Rook hightails it out of there. Into the room, gets counterspelled. Hamsham looking to cap the base, but that gets denied. Looks like they will be able to survive this positioning from Rook. I think ultimately will allow him to stall out the game long enough for Vo to really reconnect.
Yeah, you can see both these teams are playing on such a high level. A play that was made, I think, like 3 minutes ago or so now, is still having repercussions just because of how well Bailamos' team is pushing the advantage. It looks like they have just about managed to recover. Vo gets back into the fight, so the split res will be denied. Loxatar, though, he's getting a bit sneaky. You can see him moving towards mines, thinking about it. Maybe he's scared of some sort of ninja cap on Bailamos. Maybe he wants to make them think that Bailamos isn't there. Not entirely sure at this moment in time, but either way, looks like his team is doing just fine without him. 4v5. Hamsham, though, without a trinket, needs to be careful. Maldek's committed. This is the Astral Shift. DR stun comes in. Might be able to force the Spirit Link Totem here. Doesn't look like it quite. Loxatar's back in the fight. Should be able to help keep him alive. He's still really low. Swiftman comes in. He'll...
Yep, big Swiftman will stabilize Hamsham, and we are back in the situation. Frank 1, he's going to be defending the Lighthouse. Bailamos, he's going to be defending mine. Seth Curry peels off, he uses the gateway, trying to just get over to this base. He's going to be moving forward, looking for a ninja cap in the situation. And Garuk, he's been a little bit slow to chase him down. They were really delayed on that, but I think with Garuk moving over now and Frank 1's ability to just use sap on Seth Curry if he really needs to, I don't really see Seth Curry being much of a threat at this point, and him peeling away and having this little 1v1 situation doesn't really net anyone an advantage. It kind of is just a neutral play at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I do like the fact that Seth Curry's going for it, though, because it feels like in the team fight it is a stalemate, and whenever Seth Curry goes for this, there's no real downside to it. His team doesn't lose anything in the fight since Grook leaves, and you always get this feeling that Seth Curry could make something happen. Rook actually has to come back here to keep Grook alive because Seth Curry is definitely winning the 1v1 this time. Rook, though, able to stabilize him. Once again, the Transcendence port was set up quite aggressively from Seth over onto the base of rank 1. Maybe they can get a little play here where they crowd control Guruk for a long period of time while Seth Curry peels off. That could be something interesting to watch.
Yeah, try to keep it locked down.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard because he's a Moonkin, but, you know, a few fears, a few stuns. Guruk doesn't have a trinket right now. Could be something they look for.
Yeah, look at mana. I mean, Hamsham's mana still doing great. Loxatar's mana doing great. Vo and Rook falling a little bit behind, but they should be okay. Seth Curry looking for a solo kill right now on Rook. Can he do it? That would be complete miracle. Magnus coming in with a beautiful fear, defensive fear to keep Rook alive. Vo reconnects. There's going to be no kill opportunity there. double Mortal Koa coming in from Burn, looking for a
Infernal.
Chaos Ball. It gets paralysis on it. Nicely done by Rook, shutting down that damage. Baron moving forward to back him up with some greater Pyroblast. Not able to really find just more than one, and as a result, Rook and Vo will easily stabilize.
Yeah, big damage onto Magnus. This is a polymorph on him though, so maybe a slight miscommunication between the Mage and the Warlock right now. Looks like they should be fine. They are keeping up the mana pressure, but I mean, we've seen this. This is half the Battleground now, you know, it's 790 out of 1500 points. No one's broken the deadlock so far, so it doesn't feel like this team fight is going to have anything barring, you know, some big Earthshock from Oz or some big play. Loxatar dropping a little bit low, actually very low, forcing out the Spirit Link there from Hamsham. Mano is looking fine on these two healers though. They're getting quite aggressive. Magnus really able to push that advantage with the Armor's Warrior with the Sharpened Blade. Hamsham now the target of choice for a little bit here, but the Urban Shield Totem should be enough to keep him alive momentarily. So I'll try and ninja the base.
Yeah, I just think it's going to be really difficult to take down Hamsham. He goes in Ghost Wolf. He's essentially a tank with all the talents that really benefit. Spirit Link for Loxatar could fall. Beautiful setup coming in. Oz with lots of burst damage and a Sharpened Blade. Loxatar barely holding on, but he gets sniped. Guruk, Oz, Magnus, big burst. This is huge. Healer's been taken down. Now it's really up to Hamsham. What is he going to do? How is he going to survive? Guruk, in the meantime, getting caught in a lot of damage. Baron and Burn putting out significant pressure. Hamsham's just going to be using this big house to kite circles in Ghost Wolf. And if he can do that, he can just survive as long as possible. Bailamos is going to be moving forward to try to help them out. He's actually getting off the note. He realizes how important this fight really is. Hamsham, what are you going to do? He gets interrupted. If Hamsham falls here, it's going to be a complete disaster. But it does look like he might be able to hold on. Loxatar almost in a situation where he can keep it alive. He needs to heal up Baron as well. This is great pressure from SX6, but I just don't know if it's going to accomplish much.
Yeah, I mean, they have big pressure, but they really need to get another kill. Loxatar is almost back. It was a really scary moment. Baron actually has Corduroy's proc. I thought they might be able to take him down, but looks like they will get away with murder here. Again, the game will tie up. I mean, this is the stalemate we expect, right? Like, in Arena, quite often the games end up going to dampening. There's no dampening in RBGs. The healer to DPS ratio in this 5v5 is even more favorable of long games, so they really have to pick their moments here. I think this fight has been fighting on and off for about 10 minutes now, based on the points that these two teams have acquired. Vo drops low. He's quite low on mana as well here. Could be a potential opening, but I mean, both these teams are in a complete gridlock, and I think the playmaker has to be Steph Curry. Like, if Steph Curry can run away, maybe he feels like his team is not stable right now, based on how close that was. He's trying to stop the drink from Vo right now. He recognizes that that's the biggest advantage his team has right now, is that one of the healers is completely out of mana. He's just chasing him down, making sure he doesn't get any, whilst the rest of his team goes after Rook.
Yeah, I think that's really intelligent play. You just have we have to track both of these healers, which can be difficult to do, but when you have an advantage like this... Oh, Hamsham almost actually ninja there! Ring of Peace coming in, denied that from Rook. Good awareness. That would have been a complete nightmare if Hamsham had managed to just sneak away with that cap, but with his positioning, it's not looking too bad for Team Bailamos. Both rogues still just... I can only imagine how many times they press their sap macro at this point in the game to make sure they're not getting ninja'd on.
Yeah. I mean, both of them are, like, this is the thing, like, they look like they're not really contributing, but I'm willing to bet with the pressure this high and the communication probably in the comms so heated, they're both, like, really, like, spamming buttons, like, trying to make sure they're not the one, because you don't want to be the one that gets sapped because you're, like, sitting in the same spot, you know, like, that would be the most horrific situation for your team to discover that you've lost your base. So neither of these rogues are going to take any chances. Loxatar actually is starting to... I feel like Magnus is starting to expose a weakness by just tunneling Loxatar. He's struggling to deal with it. The Sharpened Blade into the bear form, plus all this spell damage from Oz, is actually quite hard for the Restoration Druid to deal with. And Hamsham doesn't necessarily provide enough healing always to keep him alive. So Magnus has found a weakness and he's going after it. Does feel like Oz's team has the edge in this team fight most of the time. It's only really the Infernals from Burn that have been flipping it, and he doesn't have those for a couple of minutes. He used them quite recently, so...
Yep, Baron manages to land a greater Power Blast on Oz. Is he going to be able to secure a second?
Ooh.
Oz could go down, Chaos Bolt! But it looks like he's going to be okay. Iron Bar connecting from Vo. Vo just completely tapped out mana. They're not letting him escape at any point in this match. If Rook goes out of mana as well, if Team Bailamos can keep up this pressure, keep the healers out of mana, it's going to be a really good situation they find themselves in. I don't know if they'll be able to deal with the damage of the Fire Mage and the Destruction Warlock. Hamsham looking for a cap right now, but Oz on top of him. Hamsham just threatening that over and over. Seth Curry peels away. Garuk in hot pursuit. I feel like we've seen this over and over again in this matchup, but Bailamos is the one who actually comes off his node. Seth Curry and Bailamos, they want the 2v2 rematch. They queued up again. It doesn't look like this is going to be the matchup they want to take. Bailamos is feeling a little bit scared. He's going to be going back to his flag.
Yeah, I think there must be really clear communication when Bailamos does push up as to whether his team or the enemy team are going to be the first ones to make it back to mines, because that really is the risk, right? Like, as soon as he leaves the base, he needs to make sure his team has him covered. So if they say, hey, we're getting peeled, we're not going to be the ones to get there, he immediately goes back. And unfortunately for Seth Curry, that leaves him in this kind of 1v2 situation where he's like, hey, Bailamos, when are you coming to help me? But most likely, might actually end up falling here. It's like Garuk is falling away a little bit. If they can get the kill here over onto Seth Curry, they might be able to have a small advantage. Maybe they can even push forward onto Bailamos' base, look for something there. But it looks like Seth Curry is not going to actually fall down. Drops a little bit low, but both these hybrids are just healing themselves up, Garuk and Seth Curry. The exchange has been made, and again, neither team able to break this gridlock. Both teams have healers with mana now. We're at 1,200 points almost out of the 1,500. Very real possibility this goes to a tie. I hope Toxic's ready.
Yeah. I guess we'll see what happens. Hamsham once again looking for a res. At this point, with the way these games are playing out, it seems like it just comes down to mistakes. But Garuk actually is going to get taken down. This is a nice attempt. Loxatar, he's going to be moving forward. They're trying to make a play. If they can loot the body, Seth Curry and Bailamos, they could move forward and take down rank 1. They could cap Lighthouse. Bo in a bit of a panic. He's trying to escape. Loxatar in a great situation right now. Great position. This team, Bailamos, is going to be able to do it. How are they going to set up this cap? Almost just spamming out Fan of Knives. He does manage to get rank 1 out of stealth. Is he going to be able to get the sap? There's the full blind. Bailamos looking for a cap. He trinkets out. Shadowy duel. Now Seth Curry. He's going to cap. They might do it. He's so close. Garuk trying to shut it down.
He made it. Bo peeled off from the team fight. He was drinking, so that's how come he was able to get there faster than anyone else. He makes it back. That Moonfire, there could have been at maximum 1 second left. That was so well set up by Bailamos and Seth Curry. They queued up for that rematch, but it was not a fair rematch. Bo comes in, but it might not be over. Rook is completely tapped on mana in the team fight. He's without his other healer right now. If they can take him down after this life cocoon, this could actually be the edge that they needed. This could still spell victory for Bailamos. It's so close at this moment in time. Could easily be a tie. Rook, caught up in affairs, managed to top himself somehow, though still not able to connect to him right now.
Wow. What a crazy, crazy turn of events. I cannot believe that it happened there. It's seriously a hero play. What just happened? Did they take it?
They ninja'd it from under them. Wait, really? No, there's no way. I didn't see. They actually managed to get it from Bailamos?
They actually did it. I can't believe it.
Rank 1 must have gone for the counterplay. Rank 1 must have gone for the counterplay after Bailamos went for that 2v2.
And I mean,
we weren't looking at that, but I mean, somehow, some way, they have turned this from what should have been victory for Bailamos' team. Like, what was literally half a second away from it, Vo with the hero play. And then Oz and rank 1, they just charged at Bailamos' base. They already had him out of stealth. I really need to see a replay of that because my camera was not on it. But that is the game winner. That's the grand finals for them.
That's it. All they need to do is hold on to one base and they win the game. They've done it. I can't believe it.
Yeah, we're like gobsmacked. It's like Seth Curry, insane. Bailamos, insane. Like, oh my god, they're gonna get it. They don't get it. And now Oz. I mean, we stopped talking about him for a couple of minutes, and he just ran right at Bailamos' base. Him and rank 1 have maybe secured it for his team left. 150 points on the chart. 2 bases to 0 at this current time. Obviously, the Lighthouse will eventually go over to the Horde, but I mean, it's just too little too late. I mean, SX6, they're going to win the first grand finals.
Yep, they are going to win the first grand finals, barring basically a miracle at this point. Rank 1 with the rank 1 plays, just really beautifully done. And I'm sure at this point they can't believe it because you can imagine how close Seth Curry was to capping that node. Like, it had to have been a half a second, a second at most. And if that would have happened, this game, this series, this tournament would have been completely different. So, well done by Vo.
It's been heart-achingly close, some of these moments. Like, all of these games, honestly, yesterday and today, it really comes down to the narrowest of margins. These teams are so evenly matched, and you know why that's so great? It's because we have more of these cups later in the year. But congratulations, you do have your grand final champions, SX6, Oz's team, able to pull home in the first cup of the year.